diplomat, so I'll call it as I see it. The West is weak. They're weak against this fusion of these Marxists and these Islamists. They're spending hundreds of billions of dollars in our country and throughout Europe. Qatar is number one. Communist China is number two. That's not a mistake. That's not a coincidence. They're trying to destroy us from within. President Trump talks about the enemy within. This is the enemy within. We see it. There's a Kristallnacht taking place in our country every day and throughout Europe every day. Jews are not safe in every capital in Europe, and now they're not safe in our capital. Now, we always are sort of behind Europe in its decline over a period of years. We need to learn and see what's taking place. This isn't about free speech, so the radical libertarians, in the face of this onslaught, would have us commit suicide. This is being funded by Qatar and other countries. There's a funding network. There are more Islamist front groups in this country, terrorist front groups in this country. They multiply like rabbits. Congress is not doing enough to stop this. I know the administration is doing yeoman's work, unlike the prior administration. This is what happens when you have open borders and unfettered and unvetted immigration, particularly from the Middle East. Our courts are not capable by ideological and administrative processes to deal with. In fact, they are obstructing efforts by this administration to deport the enemy, and they are the enemy. They're not an adversary. They're not a bunch of punks just with big mouths. They're marching through the streets like no Nazis ever have, like no Klansmen ever have in our country, calling for the destruction of the United States of America, the overthrow of the West, burning the American flag, chasing Jewish students on college campuses, threatening elderly Jews who hold signs on the streets peacefully, attacking our synagogues. Now, I say this to my fellow Americans. Is this what we want? Is this who we are? Because the ruling class is letting us down. Seal the damn borders, which is what President Trump is doing. Stop every damn penny coming into this country from these terrorist states. I don't care if they put smiles on their faces and hold seminars or whatever the hell they're doing. They're the enemy. They're the enemy. They funded 9/11. 9/11 wasn't even about Jews or Israel. It's about us. They killed over 2,000 of our people. Let the Israelis win their war against Hamas. Stop holding them back. They killed over 1,200 of their people in the most heinous ways, so horrific that the videos haven't been released on any single cable or network television show. That's how horrible it is. If you want to act like a subhuman, you need to be treated like a subhuman. These terrorist organizations, they don't think like we do. They don't think like the West. They see weakness because there is weakness. They've all but destroyed our Ivy League schools, and they're working now in K through 12. What are we going to do? Yell the First Amendment? Free speech? What are we going to do? Allow them to keep pouring money into our country, buying sporting events, buying politicians, buying businesses, and then pretend when they put smiles on their faces and they're driving around in their Mercedes-Benz that they aren't the terrorists that they are? How many more reports have to be published about the amount of money that's being poured into this country by these terrorist states like Qatar, like Iran? We can allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon? The president says no. Isn't it time that the entire nation says no, rather than a debate on whether we can manage a nuclearized Iran? They want to destroy us. They've tried to assassinate our president. How many more signals do they need to send us? What else do they need to do? They are eating away at our country from within. Europe has basically been conquered. We need to put our foot down. These two precious human beings executed in cold blood. And let me tell you something, Brian. In 3 days, we'll be on to the next subject. Never even think about them again. They took hostages. They raped them. They murdered them. They starved them. They tortured them. They executed them. They're still 20 of them, in tunnels in Gaza. And the Israelis are being told to back off. Our media uses Hamas statistics, Hamas lies, to turn the world against the Jews in Israel and against the United States, to affect public opinion. The same American media that lied about Biden lie about these terrorist regimes and what's taking place in Gaza. And our Congress, the Bernie Sanders, the Tlaibs, the Omars, the AOCs, they have a lot to answer for with this Marxist Islamist crap. And the fact of the matter is, they boycott the leader of Israel, Netanyahu, because they hate Israel. They say, oh, we don't mind Israel. It's Zionism we oppose. Zionism is the establishment of the state of Israel. It's the only indigenous people on the face of the earth that are now allowed to be indigenous. So we have to have a discussion in this country, but I'm not a rabbi and I'm not a diplomat. So I'll pray and I'll talk, but it's time for action.
So, Mark...
That damn war, don't you understand? They're in our country right now. They want to kill us. They want to take down our towers. They're destroying our universities. It's not a matter of Israel dragging anybody into anything. This is a war on London. It's a war on Paris. It's a war on Amsterdam. It's a war on Washington and New York. And it's happening in front of us right now. Whether the media wants to report it fully or not, it is taking place right now.